Welcome, beautiful people. I am Julia and I am a certified yoga instructor. This class is a very calm, trauma-informed yoga class where we release trauma from the hips. I invite you to come into a comfortable seated position and come back to your breath. You can close your eyes if that feels right for you, otherwise you can soften your gaze. Notice the gentle rise and fall of your chest on every inhale and exhale. During this class, we will be doing poses that can awaken and then release stored trauma. So when you feel emotions come up, please know that it is completely normal. It is a sign your body is getting rid of these stored emotions and trauma. I invite you to explore sending love to these places. You and your body deserve your own love. There might be some poses that feel intense when you are releasing trauma. Please know that you can always come out and do another pose, or adjust the pose to your liking. You can also use pillows or yoga blocks for support. If you don't have any blocks, you can use books or stools. This class is a safe space and you are always encouraged to do what feels right for you. Here and in life, you are always allowed to give yourself exactly what you need. You and your body are worthy of your love. I invite you to really listen to what your body is asking from you and try to give it exactly what it is asking for. So if that means your class looks entirely different, that's okay. When you are ready, you can open up your eyes. I invite you to come into a tabletop position with me. This is where you are on your hands and knees. Ideally, the wrists are under your shoulders and the knees under your hips, but you can see in what position this pose feels best on you. I invite you to bring some movement into your body. You can do this with a cat-cow, rounding the spine and arching the spine slightly. Or you can do some body rotations. You can use your entire body for this. Moving intuitively, giving your body what it is asking for. The movements can vary for everyone. Just do what feels right on your body right now. When you are ready, you can switch to the other side if you are doing rotations. I invite you to come back into a neutral tabletop position. Lift the knee off the mat and start rotating the knee. You can make these movements as big or as small as you want to, whatever feels right for your body. We are doing this to warm up your hip for the deeper stretches we are going in later in this class. You can explore rotating your knee the other way around, so to the inside or the outside. When you're ready, you can come back into a neutral tabletop and lift off the other knee from the mat and do the rotations on this side. If it feels right, you can rotate your knee the other way around. When you are ready, you can come back into a neutral tabletop. I want to invite you to come into a downward facing dog. To do this, you can tuck under your toes, place your fingers widespread on the floor, and start lifting up your hips. Press into the hands and engage the core. If your legs feel a little stiff, you can walk it out in the spot, or you can keep your knees bent. Let's stay here for a couple of breaths. Explore this position and how it feels on your body. how you can make it more comfortable for yourself. When you are ready, I want to invite you to come into a lizard pose. You can do this by bringing your right foot on the outside of your right hand. You don't have to do this in one step. You can use as many as you need to. You can push out your knee if that feels right and bring your foot on the latter side. You can grab some pillows or blocks to use for support, to rest your hands or arms on. We are going to hold this pose for a bit longer, so make yourself comfortable. Find the position that feels right on your body. You can always adjust your pose. You can scoop the leg a bit further away that's on the floor. You can push your knee that's up more outward or more inward. Where do you feel a stretch in this position? Where do you feel an opening or a tightness? You can explore sending love to these places. If it feels right, you can explore going a little deeper on your exhales. Or maybe your body is asking for you to bring a little movement into it. You can gently rock forward and back or to the sides if that feels right on your body. When you feel ready, you can come out. You can come back on your hands, tuck under your toes, and step back into a downward facing dog. If it feels right, you can kick up your leg or walk it out in the spot. I invite you to come into a pigeon pose. How you can do this is bring your right foot towards your left hand and your right knee towards your right hand. You can use a block for support. I place it under my right glute and I place one in front of me so I can lean on it. Your shin does not have to be parallel to the front of your mat at all. You can find the position that feels most comfortable. It's always about what you want and about what your body is asking for, not about doing a pose perfectly or the way you look. It's about you. You matter and you deserve to give yourself exactly what you want and need. This pose in particular can release a lot of stored emotions and trauma. This also means that you will feel a lot of emotions come up. This is completely normal. You can explore breathing through it or sending love to these places you feel the tension. If it doesn't feel right on your body, you can always adjust this pose or come out. If you come out, you can explore different variations of child's pose or another pose that you feel your body would really benefit from in this moment. In this pose, you might feel a deep stretch in your glute or the outside of your hip, maybe even your lower back or the psoas muscle of the leg that's on the back. Where do you feel the most tension? Where do you feel the stretch? When you are ready, you can come out. To do this, remove the block if you are using one. Press into the hand, stuck under your toes, and step back into a downward facing dog. You can swing up that leg again if it feels right, or walk it out. Loosen up those legs that have been in a position for a longer time. I invite you to come into a lizard pose on the other side. So when you are ready, place your left foot on the outside of your left hand. You can push out your knee again if that feels right. And you can grab those blocks or books to lean your arms on. You can make yourself comfortable again. We will hold this pose also for a bit longer. So do whatever feels right on your body. Listen to what it is asking for. Maybe the stretch on this side of the body feels different from the other side. If it feels different, how so? Do you feel the stretch in a different position? Or is this side just simply more tighter or more opened? Explore sending love to the places you feel the tension. When you are ready, you can come out and step back into a downward facing dog. To do this, you can tuck under your toes and swing your leg back. You can bring it all the way up to the sky or step back into a downward facing dog. If it feels right, you can walk it out. And then when you are ready, you can come into a pigeon pose on the other side. I invite you to bring your foot towards your hand and your knee towards your other hand. If you want to, you can use a block or pillows for support under your left glute. And you can use a block to rest your arms on if that feels right. We will hold this pose for a bit longer again, so find a position that feels comfortable. You can always adjust the pose during or come out. I invite you to explore working with a mantra if that feels right for you. The mantra is, I let go of all that no longer serves me. I let go of all that no longer serves me. I let go of all that no longer serves me. You can use this mantra if it feels right for you, or just simply do whatever feels right for you in this moment. When you are ready, you can come out. You can come up to your hands, release the blocks or pillows if you are using any, and then come back into a downward facing dog. You can walk it out in the spot if that feels right, or simply stay in a downward facing dog. I invite you to come into a child's pose when you are ready for it, and just simply breathe. Take a note of how your body feels right now. Does your body feel more opened, more loose than it did at the beginning of the class? Does your hips feel looser? Does your mind feel calmer? Are there any places you want to explore sending love to right now? Or do you want to take this opportunity to just simply breathe and relax? Feel free to stay here for the remainder of the class if that feels right for you. We have one hip opening pose to go. It's the frog pose. You can come onto your knees, then open up your knees to the point where you feel a stretch on your inner thighs. You can keep your knees in a 90-degree angle, or you can close your feet together if that feels better. Then bring your hands to the floor and gently rock forward and to the back to open up the hips a bit before you rest in this pose. You can use blocks again if that feels right. And then lean down. This is a very intense hip opening posture, so feel free to adjust to your liking. I always notice that when I bring movement into the pose, it gets easier for me to go deeper into this pose. So maybe that's something you can explore with as well. If you feel any pains, sharp pains, then please come out and just go into a child's pose or another hip opener. If it feels right, you can explore working with the mantra again. I release all that no longer serves me. I release all that no longer serves me. I release all that no longer serves me. And if it feels right, send some love to the places of tension. Send some love to yourself. You have done so well during this class. No matter what poses or adjustments you made, you just did this class, and you are so amazing for that. Well done. When you are ready, you can come up, close your knees together, and come into a seated position. I want to invite you to come into a shavasana with me. You can make yourself comfortable with pillows and blocks. You can rest them under your head and under your knees for support. You can also explore different variations. You can lay on your side. Maybe you want to keep your knees up. Or maybe laying down just doesn't feel right for you and you want to close this class off in a child's pose or in a seated position. That's okay, that's amazing. Listen to what your body is asking from you. You can take this opportunity to just simply breathe. All you have to do is just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Feel free to stay here for as long as you want to. The video will end in a couple of seconds, but you can stay here for longer. Thank you so much for being here with me today and taking this time to do something great for yourself. I just want to say you are amazing for stepping up for yourself and taking action. I invite you to journal out all the thoughts and experiences you had during this class. If you enjoyed this class, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel to see more. Bye.